So today concept is AC through an LCR circuit. AC through an LCR circuit. AC through a LCR circuit. So what is this about? LCR circuit means what is the thing? When an inductor and a resistor and a capacitor and a resistor, all the three are connected in a series. Okay, we are going to solve only series circuit. In a series, AC is provided, so that is the LCR circuit. L, inductor, capacitor and a resistor are connected in series to an AC source. Such thing is called LCR circuit. Such thing is called LCR circuit. Now return this.
Yes, sir.
Now very good. Now let us say the current flowing through the LCR circuit is I naught sine omega t. Assume that this is the current which is flowing through the LCR circuit. So this is the inductor, capacitor and a resistor. So here for an AC circuit, the problem what you are going to encounter is that you cannot add up the resistance and the of these things straight away, because see, this one you have to remember, I told you Li, the Iceman. You have to remember this. What is Li? The voltage leads the current in the case of an inductor. Both will be at an angle of pi by 2. So if I put the voltage this way, the current will be this way. Okay, they are like a vectors. You cannot straight away add the vectors. So it's like a resultant part you will get. And now Ice means the current leads the voltage in the case of any capacitor. So it will be, if I take current like this, it will be like this. So both will be having the angle of pi by 2. Now this is V versus I. This is V and I. This is I and V. This is how you have VC and IC, and this is VL and IL will write. So the current passing through the inductor and current passing through the capacitor. So that's how one can represent. Now let us say the potential drop across the inductor is VL. The potential drop across the capacitor is VC. The potential drop across the resistance is VR. We can say that. Now I can write that. VL is equal to I naught into XL. XL is what? That is inductive reactance. What is the value of inductive reactance? Anyone remember how much we got? Omega L. We got omega L, right? Inductive reactance. Anyone remember that? Omega L. That is inductive reactance. And how much is, if I write for VC, how the capacitor reactance will be? XC is 1 by omega C, right? So I naught into XC, where XC is this formulas you have to remember very well. XL is called inductive reactance and XC is called capacitive reactance. These two you have to remember very well. Clear, everyone? And now how the resistance case is, VR is equal to I into R. So XC, XL, they play the role of the resistor. So what is this I naught? This I naught, if we are writing, is this means that these are the maximum voltage drops across each component. These are the maximum voltage drops across each component. This is how we have. Clear? Can I clear this? Can I clear this? Hope I can clear.
Clear, sir.
Yeah. And now you see that we have one thing. If I have to represent the voltage and the current across all the components, these are like a vector form, because VL is upwards. We will turn in such a way that all these things, the current we will take on the x-axis itself. I is equal to I naught sine omega t. We take the current, but we measure in terms of the voltages. VL is, in fact, if you look at the previous figure, VL is upwards and the VC is downwards. So this is how we have. So I have just drawn the diagram of current and the voltage for the capacitor and the inductor. So VL is upwards. And I told you Eli the Iceman, no, based on that, this graph is made. And now combination of these two is coming, no? So we will not get pi by 2, we will get something else. The phase angle will be theta. Something else we will get, the phase angle. So here, this is the vertical. And the horizontal we have. And we had to, what you had to do is that, you see this one. Now the funda is that the current versus voltage, in the case of capacitor, that is also 90 and this is also 90, and this one is the resultant voltage E. You can write the resultant voltage E. And now what will be this component? So this part will be upwards you have VL, downwards you have VC. Now you will get a triangle. This triangle you remember, that is sufficient. I want you to remember this triangle. This triangle is VL minus VC and the horizontal will be like you have VR. Why the horizontal VR? Because as resistor and in the case of resistor, okay, in case of resistor, E and I are in same phase. So current and voltage for the case of resistor will be in the same line. But in the case of the capacitor and the inductor, the current and voltage will have a phase angle of 90 degrees, which we solved earlier. So what will be the resultant hypotenuse? This triangle, if you remember, this is sufficient. So VL minus VC whole square plus VR square. This is the resultant EMF, right? So that is the resultant EMF. So I'll redraw this triangle. This triangle, if you remember, this is sufficient. LCR circuit means this triangle you remember. This is VR. This is VL minus VC. Why we have to do like this? You may get a doubt. See, these things are like vectors now. You can add the voltages if they are on, everything is like a scalar earlier. Normal circuits when you are working, earlier the potentials are scalar, so directly you can add. Now when you come to AC, one potential vector in the case of inductor will be upwards. In the case of capacitor, the potential vector, the potential difference vector will be downwards. It is like a vectors. Okay, it will be like downwards. So if you have to take the resultant of these two, the inductor, if you have to take, we'll think that the inductor case VL, that is more than that of VC. That's what actually happens. So that we'll discuss in the later part. So when that happens, so what will be the resultant potential difference is because of VL minus VC. That is for the case of these two. So because one is upwards, another is downwards. In the case of resistor, the resistance, in the case of resistor, the voltage and the current will have the same phase. So we added the potential differences which are along one line. This is along y-axis. But because they are opposite, we have taken the subtraction. And now this is the resistance. And now the resultant EMF is given by hypotenuse, that is VL minus VC whole square plus VR square. This is how you get. Okay. Now, what is VL? Substitute everything. That's what you have to do. E resultant is square root of VL minus VC. This is the one you have to remember, plus VR square. So the what is VL, VC and VR? These are the maximum voltages drop across each component. So that is I naught into XL minus I naught into XC whole square plus I naught into R whole square. Now it's square root of I naught square into XL minus XC whole square plus I naught square into R square. Now I naught square I can take common. So I will get I naught into square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. Right? Up to here, you right? Return. Now, the E result, we can take it as E naught divided by I naught. Why I have written E naught? Because the resultant is the total EMF. E resultant is the addition of all the potentials drops. Okay, is the addition of all potential drops. All potential drops. Okay, so E resultant is equal to E naught. So this is what you get. So what is E naught by A naught? It is called some new quantity called Z, which is called impedance. Which is called impedance. So Z is equal to E naught by I naught. So E naught by I naught value is square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. This is what you have to remember. This is called impedance. This is called impedance. Can I clear? This is the maximum potential difference. You know what is maximum potential difference. Can I clear this, everyone? Hope I can clear. Now, you have one triangle. This triangle you have to remember. This is called impedance triangle. Please remember this, very important. This angle is called phi. This is XL minus XC. This is R. This is square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. So which is Z. This triangle you have to remember. Now we have some tan phi, which is XL minus XC divided by R. Okay. Here, voltage leads the current by the phase angle phi. Voltage leads the current by a phase angle phi. Please note it. Can I clear? So hope I can clear. I think you are having some problem in speaking. Okay. Now after this, we have the alternating EMF is given by E is equal to E naught sine of omega t plus phi. The phase angle now it is phi. It is not 90 this time. The phase angle is phi. So I is equal to I naught sine omega t. We'll take this consideration now. Now, the scenario is that why we have taken the current into consideration, because it is series circuit, current remains constant. So that's why we have taken current into consideration and the potential drops into the consideration. That's how we do. Now, the next part is that we have some special cases when XL is equal to XC, then let's find Z. Z is equal to square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. So when XL equal to XC, this part goes to 0, then Z becomes R. So we will write, this is a situation, we'll say that, hence we can say voltage and current are in same phase. Same phase as phi is equal to 0. Why phi is equal to 0? You see this. Tan phi, we got a formula XL minus XC divided by R. If XL is equal to XC, tan phi value is 0. So phi value is 0. So since phi is 0, the phase difference is 0. Voltage and current are in the same phase. Such a circuit, this condition, then the AC circuit is called, then the AC circuit is called non-inductive. It's called non-inductive. Non-inductive. Such a circuit is called non-inductive. Please note it. This is the case 1. Can I clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have when the case 2, when XL is greater than XC, then tan phi is a positive value, obviously. Then here voltage leads current. So remember the LI, voltage leads current for an inductor. So the circuit is inductance dominated circuit. Inductance dominated circuit. The circuit is a inductance dominated circuit. When XL is greater than XC, then tan phi is positive, hence the voltage leads current. We will say that the circuit is inductance dominated circuit. So always remember tan phi is XL minus XC divided by R. This formula you have to remember. Clear? I hope I can clear. Next, the third part. When the third part is XL is less than XC. So what happens for tan phi? Tan phi is XL minus XC divided by R. This time it is negative. Hence, current leads voltage. Current leads voltage. Okay. Or voltage lags behind current. This is the other way of telling. Voltage lags behind the current by a phase angle of phi. By a phase angle of phi. By a phase angle of phi. Here, hence, it's a capacitance dominated circuit. This is what we have to understand.
Noted,
Okay,
sir.
ma'am. Noted. Good. Now, here another point. When XL is equal to XC, what is XL, amma? Omega L. That is equal to 1 by omega C, right? So we have multiply omega on either side. Omega square is equal to, you take omega on one side and L on this side. So 1 by LC you will get, right? So what is omega? That is 1 by square root of LC. Got it? No. When XL is equal to XC, you got omega. Omega is what? 2 pi F. That is 1 by LC square root. So F is equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of LC. This is called resonance frequency. Resonance frequency of an LCR circuit. Resonance frequency of an LC circuit. Sometimes LC circuit they'll tell, or an LCR circuit. It doesn't matter. That's called a resonance frequency. And when XL is equal to XC, this is the condition of resonance. Condition of resonance. This is the condition of resonance. Clear? Written this, everyone?
Noted, sir.
Okay. That's it. That's it, Amma. This is sufficient today, and then we'll meet tomorrow once again, same time, and I will discuss some few problems. Then slowly we'll complete this. Hope you got the idea of how to solve the LCR circuit. What you have to remember, I will just tell you. If you remember this triangle for an LCR circuit, that is sufficient. What is this triangle? This is R. This is XL minus XC. This is the phase angle phi. Two things you have to remember, that is tan phi is XL minus XC divided by R. Another thing is impedance Z is equal to square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. These are the two formulas which you have to remember for an LCR circuit. Hope I am clear with this. Okay, with this we'll close. LCR circuit is over. And tomorrow I will discuss some few problems and then move on to the next topic. I'll tell you what that is LC oscillators. Those things will come. Okay, ma. Take care. Bye. See you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma. Right. Bye.